Good day, my name is Mernalisa Saban from English 2B.
Patrick Lunaswasi.
I am Catalina O. Ramos.
And I am Perlian Arrubio, and we're here to present to you our chosen topic on Ethics 2.2.
Abortion.
So let us first define what is abortion. So abortion is the termination of a pregnancy by removal or expulsion of an embryo or fetus. An abortion that occurs without intervention is known as miscarriage or spontaneous abortion and occurs in approximately 30% to 40% of pregnancies. When deliberate steps are taken to end a pregnancy, it is called an induced abortion, or less frequently, induced miscarriage. The unmodified word abortion generally refers to an induced abortion. Although it prevents the birth of a child, abortion is not generally considered birth control or another term for contraception. Historically, abortions have been attempted using herbal medicines, sharp tools, forceful massage, or other traditional methods. Abortion laws and culture or religious views of abortions are different around the world. In some areas, abortion is legal only in specific cases such as rape, fatal defects, poverty, risk to woman health, or incest.
The different types of abortions. Abortion methods fall into three major categories. First is medical abortion, second is chemical abortions, and third, surgical abortions. Which type of abortion is used to terminate a pregnancy will depend on which one the woman is most comfortable with, the recommendation of the doctor, and the length of time since the woman's last menstrual cycle. Some abortion methods can only be performed within the first trimester, while others can be done safely in the second, or in extreme cases, in the third trimester. Some of the different types of abortions is early non-surgical medical abortion, also called the abortion pill. Takes two medications which are mifepristone and misoprostol. The mifepristone blocks hormones that is necessary for pregnancy, while the misoprostol causes stimulation on uterus that leads to cramps and bleeding. The second one is vacuum aspiration. This type of abortion usually performed with local anesthetic. With this procedure, a small tube is inserted to the patient's vagina or cervix to observe, and after observing, a syringe with suction is inserted through the uterus and the doctor will proceed to the operation. The third type of abortion is dilation and evacuation, also called as the D&E. D&E also involves other instruments such as forceps along with suction to empty the uterus. The patient undergoing this kind of procedure needs to open wider her cervix to allow room for larger pregnancy tissue to be removed. The fourth types of abortion is labor induction, also called induction abortion. Induction abortion, as the name implies, entails taking drugs to force the uterus to contract and expel the fetus. A limited percentage of abortions are performed by using medicines to induce labor, a practice known as induction abortion or labor induction abortion. The procedure is normally performed in a hospital or specialized facility. Strong pain relievers and sedatives will be administered to the patient as needed. Blood test and an ultrasound exam will be performed. The next is hysterotomy, similar to a C-section. Hysterotomy abortions are carried out in hospitals under local or total anesthetic. It is a surgical technique that entails opening a hole in the abdomen and into the uterus to remove the uterine contents. A hysterectomy is identical to a C-section in terms of procedure. The last is salt poisoning, usually done in the second or early third trimester of pregnancy. The amniotic fluid surrounding the infant is injected with a saline solution. The baby ingests the solution and suffers a terrible death from poisoning and dehydration after a few hours. The skin of the infant is burned off, and the mother gives birth to the baby 24 to 48 hours after it dies.
People have abortions all the time, regardless of what the law says. Criminalizing abortion does not stop abortion, it just makes abortion less safe. Almost every death and injury from unsafe abortion is preventable. Many countries are starting to change their laws to allow their greater access to abortion. Illegal abortion is usually unsafe abortion. Therefore, whether the context of the reprehensible and abhorrent acts regarding the said context of abortion itself, there are ways to prevent and even supposedly have a safer way of performing it, but regardless of the context, abortion abortion is something that cannot be prohibited as it doesn't prevent its way either way. So moving forward, when it comes to the facts itself, people may see this as something as being offended or being oppressed by it, but face the reality that facts don't care about your feelings and it's just facts.
The treatment for the termination of a pregnancy of not more than 8 weeks by the use of any other lawful method outside of the surgical procedures must at all times be administered or supervised by a medical practitioner. However, it is not necessary for this termination process to be carried out in an approved institution such as hospitals or clinics. Termination of pregnancy of more than 8 weeks but not more than 12 weeks must also be administered by a medical practitioner or an assistant under the supervision of an authorized medical practitioner. In this case, however, it is mandatory that this termination process takes place within an approved institution. Additionally, the treatment regarding the termination of a pregnancy can only be administered if it is an institution approved for the practical purpose. Termination of pregnancy of more than 12 weeks but not more than 16 weeks. This treatment must also be administered by a medical practitioner. Treatment can only be administered if two medical practitioners are in the opinion of matters previously listed. Termination of pregnancy of more than 16 weeks must be administered by only an authorized medical practitioner in an approved institution, and can be only administered if three medical practitioners are of the opinion of matters also previously listed or specified in the time period more than 8 weeks but not less than 12 weeks.
As a person, I really disagree with abortion. And I believe in God that He say that thou shalt not kill. And for me, abortion and killing are definitely the same. So, I have so many realizations about this discussion that I am still disagree with this, and I can't see the right about this issue about abortion. Abortion is illegal.
Okay, so here's our stand or our reflection when it comes to the topic or context of having abortion in itself. So in this case, we are against it and we are pro-life. So when we say pro-life, it will be the act of actually having being in favor for the lives or the rights of unborn children in itself when it comes to the babies in the mother's womb. And when we say pro-abortion, it will be the left side, or yes, the left side. When I talk about this in a perspective, that they would be in favor of it rather than being against it. So I want to ask you all a question. When I ask this, I want the complete honesty about it, because in this debate we can't have any biased perspectives or any abhorrent comments regarding within each other, because this is a full-on honest and non-verbal abusive acts or comments or criticism against one another. So I'm gonna ask this question. Once a fetus or an unborn child is still in the mother's womb and they haven't taken a breath yet, are they still considered human? Because the act of actually killing a child or a person or human being is something that is against it, and it's not even considered being safe or even preventing parenthood of or regarding a mother that's not ready. It's actually just being considered or having excuses or giving reasons into giving ways for other people to commit homicide against a child or a baby that isn't even born yet. Rights that they don't even have at the moment. So regarding this, coming back to it, when will you say in this case, so in this context, are they considered human being or not? So yes, there are cases where some women, and mostly even some teens, or that are taken against their will and raped. So in this context, is rape and incest still part of this context regarding abortion itself? So yes, in some cases it's okay, in some cases it isn't. So in this context, when we talk about it, nitpicking certain contexts or situations still gives the scapegoat of having reasons or excuses for this so-called events or situations. And yes, this is my morals. I don't think we should kill a child regardless of its context, but yes, whenever a person would commit an act of actually raping someone or having incest or even other cases, I would prefer it for the person itself to be castrated or murdered or killed in itself in the context, rather than like the other left side of the aisle where they would wait for the person to get out of custody after 5 years. So this is my case and this is my morals itself. So being pro-life or being pro-abortion is up to you, and this is our stand against it. We are not against your case, but this is our stand regarding this reflection of this situation in this context. Every reprehensible act, every abhorrent act, the macabre of actually preferring to kill a child just to prevent something is kind of pathetic, but still, it's your choice and it's your take, but this is our perspective from it. So please take it with a grain of salt. And regardless from our report earlier, facts are still facts. It doesn't care about your feelings, it's still facts. You gotta always take it with a grain of salt.
Abortion. It sounds simple. It's easy, they said. It's just like that. It's nothing. I stand to a conviction to stop and fully commit to an advocacy to not do abortion. I think abortion is unethical. For me, abortion is a murder. All people doing this is committing a grave sin. According to the 10 Commandments, fifth one, thou shalt not kill. Because even if that is just a zygote or fetus, or it is not yet fully formed as a human or a baby, it is created by God. It is forming, it is breathing, it is alive. And if something is alive, it has life. Abortion is a sin, and nothing but a sin. Instead of aborting a baby, you can put it up for an adoption. Instead of committing a sin, you should find solutions to let the life continue to that child. That child has nothing to do with your situation. That child has the right to live, to be alive, and have a life.
I am a pro-life and my stand against abortion is no. Abortion is morally and legally immoral and no justifications can defend it. It murders innocent people before they have a chance to grow and experience life. It also causes an innocent fetus unimaginable misery and suffering. It increases tolerance for killing, setting a standard that would lead individuals to disregard human life and kill without hesitation. Worse, the practice puts aborting women in danger of major bodily harm, and it may even result to their deaths.
From this discussion, I learned more about abortion. And I can't believe that there are so many countries, there are so many peoples are accepting the legality of abortion. In some ways, I learned that there is a different type of abortions, and that is intentionally or unintentionally. And also I learned those reasons of other countries about why they are doing abortions as a legal way of killing of a child.
My reflection about abortion is that different individuals have different beliefs or insights in a certain issue like abortion, but it should never be an option. Abortion is a very controversial topic in today's world, with there being many different opinions on the matter. The two ends of the spectrum are pro-life and pro-choice. Many people feel aborting an unwanted child or killing an unwanted child should be against the law, and that most women are murderers for doing so. Children or even unborn childs do not belong to their parents, they practically belong to our Creator. Children are entrusted to the care of the parents. Aborting a child should never be an option, and people should respect a life that is given by God.
The discussion helped me understand better the life given by God. My relationship with God is evidently strong, but it is still gets emotional thinking an innocent soul won't continue his or her life because of abortion. It affected me deeply because what if that child is going to be a great person who will try spreading the good words of God? What if that child, that infant soul, has big dreams of his own? Or is it obvious that it is obvious that ethical relativism in our country is little by little changing and being influenced by other non-conservative and non-right-fearing nations. I hope as a college student I can do more, I can do something, but again, it affected me negatively and positively. Negatively because I am a very emotional person. It hurts to know these things, but positively because the discussion cost me so much that I have carried so many knowledge about the importance of life.